All right, government shutdown is looming. Tax reforms remains untouched, and the Obamacare repeal has pretty much gone down in flames. Congress is on vacation, though, and their constituents, as you can imagine, are not too happy about it, including those in the Wisconsin district of House Speaker Paul Ryan, where residents are fired up about lawmakers not delivering on their promises. The speaker making these comments in response, and I quote for you, "This is the third time in 100 years we've had this alignment of government that we've got to get it done, or else I'm really worried our country will continue down a bad path. If we don't do our job, we will depress turnout. I am frustrated as well." Well, everybody's frustrated. Neither party is all that popular with the public right now. Republicans are getting hit particularly hard in the polls with only a 22% favorability rating. So is the Republican majority at risk? Joining me right now, former Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz. Now, I might add, a Fox News contributor. Welcome. Good to have you here.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, is it frustrating for you? I mean, it's frustrating for me. I'm watching it from the sidelines.
Yeah.
You were actually there. How frustrating was that?
Well, look, 22% favorability. I mean, who are those 22%? Look, very frustrating. Mitch McConnell goes out in July and announces that there's so much on the agenda that they're going to stay until mid-August in an unprecedented way. And then what did he do? He cut that short. The Senate's not even in session this week, after previously announcing that they're going to. They are not on the same page. And Paul Ryan is right. The Speaker is right. There's an unprecedented opportunity. But if you look at the House calendar into September, there's only 12 legislative days. And a couple of those weeks, one's a fly-in day and one's a fly-out day. So you have just a handful of days. Tax reform is one of the proactive things. But how are they going to do a debt ceiling? They haven't done the budget. The budget was supposed to be done in March.
So why do you think this is? I mean, is it because people have so many individual interests at heart and they just can't really come together as a group and say, okay, we're going to get on board with these policies and on board with these policies and get it done?
Well, it's different now because they're playing with live ammunition. I mean, I remember as a member of the House, I voted more than 50 times to repeal Obamacare. Then when we actually had the ability to get a bill to the president's desk, do you think they brought that bill up for a vote in the House? No, they didn't bring that bill up. So now that you're playing with live ammunition, it is a different equation, but there is not the cohesiveness.
And there's fear there, right? I mean, if people have what they've already gotten taken away from them, then the fear is the Republicans would be blamed for that at the ballot box.
Yes. Look, the president has actually scored some good victories. Neil Gorsuch being confirmed as the new Supreme Court justice, that was entirely in the hands of the presidency, and they were able to get that one through. But it's the Congress that has to actually put these bills on the president's desk, and I think President Trump is just saying, give me something here. And they have had victories on veterans affairs. They've done some regulatory things. The energy sector is doing better because of action of Congress. But the big items, the big touchdowns, that has not moved forward. Tax
reform. Is it going to happen? I mean, Mitch McConnell now saying basically it would be a miracle if they were able to really get anything at all like what the president has proposed in terms of corporate tax reform. What do you think is going to happen?
I think the key indicator that we have to watch for is, do they gravitate from the term tax reform to tax cuts? Because tax cuts would be easy, just cut the rate. But if you're going to do true tax reform, as the Speaker and myself and others really want to see happen, but they're not even there to have the discussion right now. And they were trying to get this done before August. So it's a huge problem.
You know, I think that, we're looking at a market right now that, again, is at a new high, Congressman, up 20 points. Continuously, it looks like we are on path for our 9th straight record close. We've had well over 50 record days in this market since the election. It is clear that Wall Street is betting on something here. And I think a big part of it is betting on better economic growth and tax reform. So if that doesn't happen, is that going to cause lawmakers to wake up?
I think the markets react favorably to Donald Trump and the Republican-controlled House and the Senate, in that they know that the tax situation, the regulatory atmosphere will not get worse. But what could really light a fire under the economy is to actually execute on tax reform. That would really get the markets even humming that much more. There isn't the bad stuff that's going to happen, but could they do some real proactive things?
Well, people want it. People want it, and they're still hopeful.
The
So.
Republicans, you got to deliver on it. That's what their promise was.
Thank you so much. Good to have you
Thank
here,
you.
Congressman.